Thank you for clicking. Hi, I'm Hideaki OJ, in short for some mysterious reason, a nice Japanese guy introducing popular foods in Japan with my own recipes. In this video, my variation of the Japanese gyoza recipe will be introduced. This gyoza recipe is pork gyoza. By watching this, you'll be fully knowledgeable for making this food. Compared to the usual standard gyoza in Tokyo where I live at least, this recipe tastes fundamentally better, in my opinion, though it requires a bit of effort to make. However, all the cooking tips will be covered, so don't worry. Anyway, without any further ado, let's dive in. Here's a list of items I used this time. The amount shown is approx, not exact, so you understand it would be appreciated. For Chinese cabbage, once you mince it, please salt it, and in 10 minutes or so, it helps removing unnecessary water later. No in-advance salting is required for others. Chinese chive, minced. Scallion, also minced. I used the maitake mushrooms and white mushrooms this time. Those are also minced. Regarding maitake, any similar taste mushrooms can be used instead, and that is just fine. Using these mushrooms is the key point for this time. Chili pepper, also minced. Garlic and ginger are used for both gyoza content and the sauce as spices, so I cut 4 or 5 cloves of garlic and the same amount of ginger. And Szechuan pepper, also minced. And Duxelles as well. These are also used for sauce as spices. Making the sauce itself can be optional, and the sauce I made this time was a kind of a improvisation for me at the time. Now let's squeeze the cabbage and remove waters. This should take some time, but doing this is important. This much water was removed. If you taste this water, you'll see. So this is what I want to remove from dumplings. 250 grams or so of minced pork is in the bowl. For the pork meat, I also use nearly the same amounts of sliced berry meat. And here is a very important tip. For gyoza, you want to use meats that have plenty of fats. If you only use minced pork, simply say it's too red. Gyoza's meat better be remembered for its color, in my opinion. So to adjust the color or the fat ratio, I use berry meat, which has high fat, mincing it like this myself. And here is some technique. I intentionally minced belly meat not solely, so that the gyoza has some chewy texture from the two different meats, and the meat should be kneaded very well in advance. By doing this in advance, its amino acid is kinda enhanced, and that makes it have better flavor. So before it's mixed with others, kneading only meat like this in advance is recommended. Once it becomes kind of sticky like this, it's okay. The color of the meat at this point should be at least pink like this, or brighter. From here, it will become some advanced gyoza cooking. This effort can be optional. If you skip this, please use a lesser amount of mushrooms than in this video, and you'll know why soon. On middle heat, mushrooms are roasted in a pan without cooking oil. On the other hand, using one more pan, heat 20 cc or so of cooking oils and start frying garlic and ginger. I keep half the amount of garlic and ginger for making sauce at this point. Fry them on low heat until they become aromatic. And once it becomes so, add scallion as well to do the same. Why scallion later is because garlic and ginger should be stronger than scallions in the oil, so garlic and ginger must take longer basing time in the oil. Once roasting, remove the water within the mushrooms and makes them shrink like this, then mix it with others and fry them on middle heat for some time while preparing another pan washed and oiled again for making sauce. On low heat, stir fry all spices together until they become aromatic. Well, he's basically doing some déguerlassé of French cooking techniques, so once it becomes caramelized with a color like this, then add mirin and sake and simmer for a while. On the other hand, now all spices in another pan have become aromatic. So now doubanjian and timbanjian are added and stir-fry them for a minute. Then again, add mirin and sake and simmer these. Add an optional shoyu if the saltiness of doubanjian and timbanjian used are not firm enough, since it depends on each product. Just for your information. On the other hand, now the mushrooms and the others have become black paste like this, and then you can turn off the fire. Then, pan for the sauce became like this. Then let's add some balsamic vinegar and simmer further a bit more, and then the sauce is also done. Now let's mix them all. Regarding the mushrooms, garlic and ginger, in this way it tastes and smells far better. Also, mirin used for this adds good sweetness inside the dumplings itself. At this point, pour shoyu and then add Chinese pork soup base powder like this. The point here is, at this point, seasoning those quite firmly with shoyu and soup base powder. It makes the dumpling taste like genuine gyoza. And then with soup, the same soup base powder dissolved in hot water, you can adjust its softness. I recommend adding the soup little by little like this. Please mix it well until it becomes like this. So from here, it's how to wrap gyoza. Let's use the already made wrapper available in shops. Making the wrapper from scratch is something I and most people in Japan at least wouldn't be willing to go for. Points I'd like to mention here are just two. First is the gyoza contents itself. Making it with too many vegetables or not removing water well enough from cabbage, and thus it's too watery, is usually the reason for most people to make this task difficult. By using its own stickiness, gyoza content can be wrapped like this. People often use water to seal the sides, but if this point is covered, like this footage, you never need water for it. I hope by watching this video you can tell how the gyoza contents before being wrapped should look like. The second point is to put gyoza contents slightly bit more than the wrapper can wrap intentionally first, and then, inevitably, a slight amount gets spilled over from the edge. Shake off that and using what it left on the edge as glue, and you can seal the end of the edge firmly. Also, this helps to make sure the amount it's wrapping is always the amount that each wrapper can wrap maximally. Wrapping maximum amount means there's no part inside vacant or hollow, so the density is always even. Finally, steam it for 5 to 6 minutes on middle heat, and it's done. While I waited for that, I made some crushed cashew nuts for the final topping that can add some crunchy texture. Now it's cooked, it's juicy inside. Please use a sauce amount like this. And spread the crushed nuts like this, and it's complete. It's yummy like crazy. Made my face like this. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.